Okay, just picture this for a second. You're in the back of the transport. You can hear the low hum of the engine, you see the steady glow of the monitors, but none of that is what you're focused on. Your mind is on what's waiting at the end of this ride. A family. And you have to be the one to deliver the worst possible news about their child. For those of us on the transport team, this is without a doubt the moment we dread the most.
It's really the question that can keep you up at night, right? What do you say? And maybe even more importantly, how do you say it? You know, the stakes here could not be higher. If you get it right, you can build this incredible foundation of trust. But if you get it wrong, well, you can seriously affect a family's relationship with the entire medical system for years and years to come. So we are not going to leave this to chance. What we're going to do is walk through a really clear roadmap together. We'll start by defining the challenge, then we'll look at a blueprint for the conversation, the specific tools you'll need, how to craft that difficult message, what pitfalls to watch out for, and then finally, what you do after the words are spoken.
All right, so first things first, let's actually define the task at hand. This isn't just about stumbling through a few difficult words. It's a really complex, absolutely vital communication skill. And for so many of us, it's a reality we face pretty much daily.
Take a look at this definition. Bad news isn't just, a terminal diagnosis. It's any information that negatively changes how a person sees their future. That could be a brand new diagnosis, a setback in their treatment plan, or just the news that their options are starting to become more limited. Every single one of these conversations fundamentally alters someone's world.
So how can we possibly navigate something this intense? Well, we use a structured process. Because when emotions are running high, and let's be honest, that's for the family and for us, having a reliable blueprint is absolutely essential. It keeps the conversation on track and helps make sure we don't miss a single crucial step.
And that blueprint is the Spikes protocol. It's a 6-step framework that guides the whole conversation. So you start with the setting, making sure you have a private, quiet space. Then you gauge their perception. What do they actually know already? What do they understand? From there, you ask for an invitation to share more. It's only then that you provide the knowledge, and you do it in small, clear bits. All the way through, you're expressing empathy, acknowledging their feelings. And you always end with a summary and a strategy, so they leave knowing what's going to happen next. It's just a really logical flow from preparation all the way to action.
So with that blueprint in place, we can now add a few really specific tools to our toolkit. Think of these as the techniques that bring that framework to life and help you build trust, even in the absolute toughest moments.
The very first tool is to make a promise. This sets the ground rules right from the beginning. You could say something like, I want to promise you something. I will always be as clear and straightforward with you as I can be. I'll tell you what I know, and I'll be honest with you when I'm worried. That simple statement, it creates an agreement. It says, we're in this together, and we're going to face the truth, no matter how hard it is.
Okay, next up, ask for permission. This sounds incredibly simple, but it is so powerful. Before you just dive in, you ask, there's something important we need to talk about. Is now an okay time to do that? In a situation where family feels completely powerless, this small gesture gives them back a little bit of control. It's a sign of respect, and it builds trust.
And the third tool is what we call the warning shot. This is just a brief phrase that helps prepare the listener for what's about to come. For instance, I really wish I had different news for you. It signals a shift in the conversation, and it gives the family just a moment to kind of brace themselves. It might feel a little counterintuitive, but families have said that this small act feels deeply empathetic.
So we have our structure and we have our tools. Now let's get into the message itself. The words we choose can either build this bridge of understanding or they can create a huge chasm of distress.
A good message is first and foremost honest. You never omit key information. It's empathetic. You have to acknowledge what the family is feeling. It's hopeful, but realistically so. Maybe the hope is focused on comfort or on quality of time. And it's objective, using clear, jargon-free language. The alternative, a message that's misleading or abrupt or filled with medical jargon, well, that can just shatter trust and cause some really lasting harm.
But, even with the absolute best intentions, communication can get derailed. We have to be really aware of the noise that can disrupt this whole process and basically prevent our message from truly being heard.
There are 3 common traps we see. First, there's psychological noise. This is that emotional static of shock and grief that makes it nearly impossible for a parent to process information. Second, semantic noise. And this one is on us. It's when we use technical jargon that families just can't understand. And finally, there are the outright communication failures. Things like giving false hope just to soften the blow, which, in the long run, only erodes trust.
Finally, we have to talk about what happens after the hardest words have been spoken, because the conversation doesn't just end there. In a lot of ways, the real work is just beginning, and our most powerful tool at this stage is simply our continued presence. You know, one of the greatest fears a family has after hearing bad news is abandonment. They worry that if there are no more curative options on the table, the team is just going to disappear. And that's why a simple promise, "I'm going to check on you again in an hour," or "We are here for you and your child no matter what," that can be the most reassuring thing you say all day. It's a commitment to not leave them alone in this. So we're going to end with this. We've focused on a very specific, really high-stakes conversation today. But the core lesson here is universal. We all live in a world that is just filled with noise. The challenge for every single one of us, in any conversation, is to cut through that noise and choose to communicate with clarity, with honesty, and with genuine care. So the question to leave with is, how are you going to do that today?